I've been doing comparisons between various sci-fi factions for a while now, and I always run into the issue that sci-fi writers seem allergic to putting real-world numbers into their stories. Star Wars doesn't actually list real speeds, just megalights, or whatever that means. Photon torpedoes from Star Trek have yields in isotons, which are fake, made-up units. Then, Strange New Worlds came along and finally gave us some real numbers. For context, this series is a prequel to the original series of Star Trek, and thus takes place decades before the other series, excluding the original series. Considering the advancements that happened during that time, assume that anything you see in something like Deep Space Nine or TNG has improved upon this.
Exactly how much power do you need?
Based on the data of the Vesta life form, approximately 3.22 times 10 to the 26 watts.
That is the power of the Earth's sun.
Well, less, technically. The sun is close enough.
A focused phaser blast from a starship could get you about half of that.
Aye, but you'd have to direct it precisely into the system or you'll vaporize the whole temple.
You said a starship could generate half of what we need?
Okay, so there you have it. Each phaser can output half of 3.22 times 10 to the 26 watts, so that's 1.61 times 10 to the 26 watts. What does that mean? Well, in units that kinda sorta make sense, that's 1.61 Rona watts. I don't know about you, but this is my first time hearing of a Rona, so let's go ahead and convert into tons of TNT. That would be 38.5 petatons of TNT. So remember that the scale goes mega, giga, tera, then peta, so we're talking about an absolutely crazy amount of energy. Just like they say in the episode, each phaser has to output half the energy of the sun, and it's in watts, so it's that much energy per second. Since we do a bunch of comparing to Star Wars on this channel, how does this match up against turbolasers? Well, it pretty much leaves them thoroughly in the dust. No demonstration of the power of turbolasers even comes close. But what about the Death Star super laser? Well, that apparently fired with the energy of 53.5 zetatons of TNT, which would require phasers continuously firing for about 16 days to match. So yeah, sorry to all you Star Wars diehard fans out there, phasers are far more powerful than turbolasers are, but also, sorry to all you Star Trek diehard fans out there, the Death Star still hits harder than any phaser.